Hello everyone, this is Kruti Patel from Pharmaceutical Technology Department, LJ Institute of Pharmacy. Welcome to Pharma Ignite, the official channel of LJ Institute of Pharmacy. In today's session, we are going to start with a new subject, that is pharmaceutical microbiology. Now, microbiology, that means in this subject we are going to deal or we are going to learn about different microorganisms. Let's catch words. Microbiology. Micro means small, biology means cells. Here we are going to study about small cells, that is microbiology. Okay, now this microbiology, or if we talk about microorganisms, then that includes various bacteria, various viruses, then fungi, bacteria, then you can say endospores. All these are the different types of microorganisms. So in this subject we are going to learn about various techniques of handling them, or we can say various techniques of growing them, or various techniques of isolating them, or various techniques of staining them, or we are going to study about their morphology, everything. Okay, with this we are also going to study how to control them, how to control their population. It is very essential to control their population. Otherwise, what happens if we have tremendous growth of microorganisms, then there might be chances of infection. As we all know these days, COVID, right? That is a virus. That virus again comes under this microorganisms, right? So this microorganisms, to control them, it is very essential. So in this video we are going to learn about controlling techniques of microorganisms. So we are going to start with the sterilization. You might have heard word sterilization. Sterilization means controlling of microorganisms, or deleting or removing or destruction of all types of microorganisms, including bacteria, viruses and endospores. So that is sterilization. Either remove them or kill them, that is sterilization. Okay, now you know the word bacteria, now you know the word virus. Here one new word is there, that is endospore. Now what is this endospore? Endospore means dormant, we can say dormant state of microorganism. There are two types of microorganisms, or there are two forms of microorganism. One is vegetative cell and other is dormant form, or we can say spore. Okay, now spore means when there are unfavorable conditions for the microorganism, they will be converted into dormant state, means they will be alive, they will be living, but they will be in dormant state. Okay, so that is known as spore part, or you can say endospore. And vegetative cells means which can grow, which can multiply, they are known as vegetative cell. Okay, so yes, microorganisms or sterilizations include removal of all form of microorganism, that is bacteria, viruses as well as endospore. Now this, as I said, this sterilization is also known as control of microorganism. Control means to reduce or to keep them in limit. Okay, so that is control of microorganism. Now why we need to go for sterilization? What are the need of going for the sterilization? So first thing, yes, to prevent the transmission of disease. In this time we all know COVID, right? What we do generally when we go out, we sterilize our hand with the sanitizer, we clean our hand with the sanitizer, or what we do, we clean our hands with soap. Okay, what we are doing sterilization. That means we are removing microorganisms. Okay, so that is that's why the sterilization is required to prevent the transmission of disease. Okay, now second, why we need some, okay, in pharma industry we have to deal with specific kind of microorganism. We want some kind of microorganism, we don't want other kind of microorganisms. Okay, so in those cases, to prevent the growth of undesirable microorganism, in that case sterilization is important. That means if we want to deal only with gram negative microorganism, we don't want the growth of gram positive microorganism. These are the different types of microorganism. Okay, so in that case we have to create environment, or we have to give agent which kills the gram positive microorganism. So that's why in that case sterilization is important. And to prevent the spoilage and deterioration of any product. Yes, when there is a contamination, when there is a growth of microorganism, what happens? Your product gets degraded. Okay, so so to prevent all these things, we need to go for sterilization. Okay, now before moving ahead, let's see some terminologies. Now this microbiology is very new subject for you all. In microbiology, there are specific terminologies which you need to remember. So we will be learning those terminologies which are essential for our chapters. Okay, let's start with the first one. The first terminology is disinfectant. Now you all have heard this word disinfectant. Disinfectant means agents that kills microorganisms. They are known as disinfectant. Okay. And second word is antiseptic. Now again, what is antiseptic? Antiseptic that removes microorganism, that is known as antiseptic. Now what is the difference between disinfectant and antiseptic? This is very easy. You all have already studied, but many of you will not remember. I know that. Now yes, what is the basic difference? Disinfectant means that removes microorganism from the non-living surfaces. That is known as disinfectant. Your Lysol, Harpic. Okay, you see advertisement on your television, right? Harpic, Lysol, these all are disinfectant. Where you are applying on non-living surfaces. Okay, so that is disinfectant. Antiseptic means which you can apply on living surfaces. Okay, Dettol is antiseptic. Now again, here it is a controversy. Dettol is disinfectant as well as antiseptic. That means you can apply it on your wounds as well as you can apply it for the cleaning purposes, right? So that is antiseptic. Now I guess difference is clear. Now next word is sanitizer. Now this is very common word these days. I think I don't need to tell you what is sanitizer. You all know, right? Sanitizer means that reduces the microbial population as per the public health requirements. Okay, that means that kills almost 99.9% of all growing microorganisms. Okay, so yes, that controls the limit of all growing microorganisms from the surface where you apply. Okay, so that is sanitizer. Now next word is bioburden. Bioburden, that means number of viable microorganisms on any surface or on any product or on any equipment. That is known as bioburden. Now yes, I used one important word here, that is viable microorganism. Yes, now there are two types of microorganisms. First is viable microorganisms, second is non-viable microorganism. Viable means which are living, which can grow, which can multiply. They are known as viable microorganisms. In simple terms, viable means living microorganism and non-viable means non-living microorganisms. Okay, which are not living, which cannot grow, which cannot multiply. So these all are the non-viable microorganisms. So bioburden means number of microorganisms or population of microorganism. Which microorganism? Viable microorganism on any surface or any product, that is bioburden. Okay, now let's move further. Next is bactericidal. Bactericidal, there are two terms. Bactericidal, next one is bacteriostatic. Okay, static means stop, cidal means killing. Okay, so bactericidal means agent those kills microorganisms. Okay, so that is bactericidal. And bacteriostatic means that stops the growth of microorganism. That means if I am using bactericidal agent, that means I have a petri dish. Imagine I have a petri dish. In that I have microorganisms. When I add bactericidal agent, what will happen? All microorganisms will be killed. So that is bactericidal. Okay, now again imagine I have a petri dish. In that I have microorganisms. Now I am adding bacteriostatic agent. What will happen? The growth of microorganism will be stopped. Okay, the amount the amount of microorganism may remain as it is, but the growth of microorganism won't be there. So that is bacteriostatic. Okay, so these are the two important words, bactericidal and bacteriostatic. So these are the basic terminologies which we will be using in sterilization chapter. Okay, let's move further. The next part is our different types of or different methods of sterilization. This is very important. This we can say this is the content of your chapter sterilization, or we can say this is very important from exam point of view. Okay, So yes, different types of sterilization, or we can say different methods to control microorganism. So if we divide these methods, there are mainly three methods. First is physical, second is mechanical method, and third is chemical method. Let's start with the physical methods. Physical method, first is high temperature. High temperature. Now this high temperature, okay, before that, physical methods have four different methods. The first one is high temperature. High temperature, again, that is divided into two types. First is dry heat and second is moist heat. Okay, now what is this dry heat? How to understand the mechanism? Okay, let's understand with the equipment that we use in our kitchen. First is oven. You all know oven, right? The other equipment is pressure cooker. You all know pressure cooker. Okay, now tell me what is the difference between oven and pressure cooker? Oven, if you talk about oven, that does not use moisture. Okay, yes, it is getting heated, but it is not using moisture. If you talk about pressure cooker, it is also getting heated, but it is using moisture. Okay, so this is the basic difference. So in high temperature we have two mechanisms. First is dry heat and second is moist heat. Okay, so let's learn about dry heat method. In dry heat we have first hot air sterilization. Hot air sterilization means there will be hot air without any moisture. For this, which equipment we can use? We can use hot air oven. Okay, you have oven in your kitchen. Okay, the same equipment but with the larger quantity we will be using in our lab, okay, or in pharma industry. So that is known as hot air oven. Second method in hot air oven is incineration. Okay, now what is this incineration? Incineration means directly burning into flame. Now this incineration is very wonderful method which we are using in laboratory for sterilization of wire loop. In pharmaceutical microbiology lab, we will be using wire loop. That wire loop will be used for transferring of microorganism. Now when we transfer microorganism, we need to sterilize that loop. Then how to sterilize that loop? With the use of or by the method of incineration. Incineration means we will be having a burner. We are having that wire loop. There will be a flame. We have to directly put that our loop into flame till that gets red hot, and that is known as incineration. Now this incineration is widely used method for the disposal of pharmaceutical waste. Say for example this hospital waste, okay, which might be containing microorganism. Then how to dispose them? Can we directly throw them in garbage? Is it possible? We can throw, but what happens? The chances of contamination or chances of infection increases. So in those cases, what we have to do, first we have to remove microorganisms from all those products and then we can dispose them off. Okay, so yes, for this removing of microorganism or for the disposal of hospital waste or biomedical waste, this incineration method is used. That means there will be a large furnace. In that we have to add all our garbage, all our product which we want to destroy, and then it is directly flamed or it is directly burned into flame. Okay, this is the incineration. Okay, so yes, in dry heat there are two methods. First is hot air oven, or sorry, hot air sterilization, and second is incineration. Okay, let's move further. The next method is moist heat sterilization. In moist heat sterilization, first we have that is steam under pressure. Steam under pressure, that means your pressure cooker. The equipment used here is autoclave. That this all equipments we will be studying in detail in further videos. This is just an overview. This is just an introduction part. Okay, so steam under pressure, in that the equipment which we use is autoclave, and that is very much similar to your pressure cooker. That is exactly your pressure cooker. That means you have to close that container. The pressure will be generated. The heat will be there. So pressure will be generated. What happens? The sterilization takes place. Okay, so that is steam under pressure. Yes, here we are using moisture. Okay, the second method is tyndallization, or you can say it fractional sterilization. Let's catch words. fractional sterilization. Now what do you mean by fractions? Fractions means part, means here you will be sterilizing your product in parts. That means here you have to sterilize any product continuously for 3 days. I like this method very much actually. What I call it, this method, I call it as ullu banao fine microorganisms. This is my common word, ullu banao fine microorganism. That means what you are doing in this method, you have to follow this method for 3 successive or 3 continuous days, okay? 1 hour at 100 degrees Celsius, that's all. So at first day, what you have to do, you have to take your product and you have to heat it at 80 to 100 degrees Celsius, okay? That means what happens, the microorganisms will be killed. Now 80 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius is not too high temperature to kill microorganisms, okay? For killing of microorganisms, we need a temperature above 140 degrees Celsius, usually 120 to 180 is the usual range, okay? So at 80 degrees Celsius, 80 to 100 degrees Celsius, you cannot kill all microorganisms at once. So what we have to do, the prone microorganisms, at first day, prone microorganisms will be killed. The rest microorganisms will be converted into spore form. As I said, it is a dormant state, okay? The unfavorable condition is there, so they will be converted into spore form, okay? So once you over that your 1 hour sterilization process, you have to incubate them. Now yes, important thing, here comes your new word, incubate. Now what is this incubate? Incubation means you are providing conditions for the growth, you are providing nutrients, or you are providing proper temperature, you are providing proper humidity. That is known as incubation, providing proper conditions for the growth, okay? Yes, so you have to incubate them for the 24 hours, okay? So you have to sterilize them, then you have to incubate for 24 hours. So what happens, all those microorganisms who have converted into spore form, now once you incubate them, they will think, wow, this is favorable conditions, I like this condition. So they will be converted again into vegetative form, okay? This conversion, vegetative cell to spore form, is continuous process, okay? So they will be converted into vegetative form. Now we ullu banao find them. So next day after 24 hours, again we will be putting them into equipment and we will be going for sterilization for 1 hour at 80 to 100 degrees Celsius. So what happens again, prone microorganisms will be killed, other most resistive form will be converted into spore form. So what we are going to do, again we are going to incubate them for the 2nd day, and on the 3rd day again we are going to sterilize them. So this is the process. Now it is claimed, or it is known, that mostly 99.99% of microorganisms are effectively killed by this method, okay? So yes, I like this method very much. It is, remember always, ullu banao fine microorganism, and this method was invented by scientist Tyndall. That's why it is known as sterilization, okay? So yes, official word is sterilization, or you can say it as fractional sterilization. Always catch words, fractional sterilization. You have to go for sterilization but in fractions, okay? Now next method is pasteurization. Pasteurization, you all know, this is the widely used method for the sterilization of milk, okay? Pasteurization is also used for the sterilization of juices. You get real juice or in that Tetra Pak, right? All juices are sterilized by pasteurization method and then they are fed, okay? After pasteurization, the last method is heating with bactericide. Now this method is to sterilize thermolabile substances, okay? So means you have to use low temperature, that is again 80 degrees Celsius, and you have to add a small amount of bactericide. So what happens at low temperature or at lower temperature, with the help of bactericidal agent, the microorganisms will be killed quickly, okay? So this is moist heat sterilization process. Now next method is low temperature. Now low temperature means refrigeration. Sometimes what you do, your fruit products, you store them in refrigerator, right? Why? Because you are reducing the temperature. So what happens, the growth of microorganisms will be reduced, okay? So this is actually not the sterilization technique, proper sterilization technique, but yes, it is. This technique is for the preservation of any product, okay? The next method is desiccation. Now what is desiccation? Desiccation means removal of moisture, total removal of moisture. What happens if we remove all the water from your body? What happens? person dies, right? The same thing happens with the microorganism. For all living things, we need water in our body to survive. Okay. By the method of desiccation, what we will be doing, we will be removing we will be removing water from the body of microorganism, and thus the microorganisms will be died. So that is desiccation. Here we will be using desiccating agents like silica gel. Okay, so that is desiccation. And the last method is radiation. Now this radiation, there are two types of radiation. First is ionizing radiation, second is non-ionizing radiation. So these are the different types of radiations which are used to kill microorganisms. So this was all about the physical methods to kill microorganisms. Now the next part is mechanical method. In mechanical method we have filtration. Filtration is also a very widely used technique for the sterilization of microorganism. Now where it is used? It is used in SVP and LVP. What is SVP and what is LVP? LVP means large volume parenterals and SVP means small volume parenterals. Okay, so for the sterilization of SVP and LVP, this filtration method is used. We will be studying them in detail. This is just an overview. And the last method is chemical method. Chemical method that includes the use of disinfectant, antiseptics, sanitizers, etc. Okay, so this was all about different methods of sterilization. This is just the overview. We will be discussing all these methods in detail from the next video. Now let's see the different questions which can be asked. Okay, so I guess introduction to sterilization is clear to everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to Pharma Ignite for more such videos. Thank you so much.